इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Good afternoon, one and all. Greetings from Franchise India. With great hope that everybody is safe and healthy, we welcome each one of you to Business Opportunity over Chai webinar series. Franchise India Company, the first company to introduce and develop franchise market in India. That was established in 1999, and we completely focus on franchise ecosystem. Through our dynamic media and service platform, we have catered to investors across all industries and categories like F&B, education, retail, fashion, health, etc. And we are among the top 10 management consulting companies in India. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, and our second panel member, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. This particular webinar is hosted by both of them. This is a digital representation of the brand. The brand which we are presenting you today is Dalchini. It's India's first brand representing automated kiosks. They bring their penetration pan-India is with 300 plus kiosks across different cities. And they have clients which they cater to the clients like government bodies, healthcare giants, education institute, and corporate. And if I talk about their product portfolio, they present fresh foods, snacks and beverages, stationeries, wellness and healthcare products also. And it is a privilege to welcome and invite entire team of Dalchini to present their model. We welcome Ms. Prerna Kalra. She is a founder and CEO, Vidya Bhushan, founder and CEO, and Balram and Praveen representing franchise team of Dalchini. Thank you so much for joining it today. We are really excited to see the franchise options you are presenting for us today. Over to you.
Hello everyone. We would like to introduce you a very new concept for India specifically. In India, we have generally seen vending machines which provide those 7 C's, right? Those items like chips, candy, cookies, kappa noodles, kind of items, mostly through vending machines. But Dalchini has brought a new innovative solution through vending machines through which you can provide 6 meals a day. You can have something for the breakfast, you can have a midday snack, you can have a late night snack as well. So a 6 meal opportunity for the customers in the location that we are present, right? Even if you have got your own lunchbox, we provide desserts for you. If you are staying in a hostel you are in a co-living space, right? So we provide you an opportunity, a buffet kind of an opportunity through which you can take anything from the vending machine. So it's kind of a your next door tuck shop or a canteen that you would have seen so far, right? Which is mostly manned. But in today's time, specifically post COVID, this is a new opportunity that through an unmanned 100% contactless option, you can take by anything, which through the entire day, a 6 day kind of an opportunity. We would like to now present our deck to you. Okay, so we are India's first community of automated kiosk. Like Archana said, that we are now 300 plus kiosks. We are present in 9 cities as of now, and we have been like it's a fairly recent company. We started in 2017, started building this product, and now we have been able to scale it to a level. Going on to the next slide, we'll show you that how uh, the entire value proposition for the customer, right? What it is, right? Through the agenda, we will talk about Dalchini market opportunity, the franchisee proposition, and then we'll take a detailed Q&A. To the next slide. So yeah, so this is what the Dalchini vending machine is, right? So it's a you won't find a tuck buttons on the vending machine. It's an entirely new age solution whereby there is an app through which you can find out the nearest vending machine. You can browse what is available by, even if you are near the vending machine, there is a touch screen, large touch screen on the vending machine itself, right? Where you can browse what is available by, and then and there take the item and consume it, right? So that's the kind of proposition that we have created. This is also an opportunity for a lot of brands, right? A lot of D2C brands who are coming into the market, and this whole ecosystem of ready to eat food, right, is taking a very new shape in India. Traditionally we were more for like we were going for more of like a namkeen or snacks, savories kind of items, right? But now Indians consumption pattern is changing, right? And it is growing. The market is anyways growing at a very steady pace, right? Specifically the ready to eat market. So we'll just quickly run through you a video of that, how does the Dalchini vending machine works. Okay, I'll share the screen, right, so that I'm able to.
Something delicious and healthy, and also don't have the patience to wait for the delivery boy? No worries. Presenting Dalkini. Go to Dalkini vending machine.
Prerna, we can't see the video.
Options on the tab. Enter your mobile number. Scan the QR code with any UPI app.
Prerna, there's no video. Can we relaunch that?
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry.
So there's no video we can see. So you want to relaunch the video?
Okay, okay. I have already. Okay, let me share again. Can you see now?
No, there's no video. We can see a screen which is blank, but there's no video.
Is it now visible?
No, not yet. Do you want to? Yeah.
Visible?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Something delicious and healthy, and also patience to wait for the delivery boy? No worries. Presenting Dalkini. Go to Dalkini vending machine. Select your favorite options on the tab. Enter your mobile number. Scan the QR code with any UPI app. Pick up your item and enjoy. Wait, you can do all this and more sitting here also. Just download Dalkini app. Find the nearest Dalkini. Select your favorite items. Pay by any payment option. Don't worry, Dalkini will hold your order for 30 minutes. Go to Dalkini vending machine. Enter pickup code on the tab and enjoy your food. By the way, you get more offers also if you download the app. And it's more convenient too. Dalkini.
So this is the kind of revolution that we have got into the vending machine ecosystem, right? Whereby the traditional vending machines were more about only packaged food, snacks, and beverages only, right? But through Dalchini vending machine, you get some kind of mini meals, you get a meal combos, you get savories, you get dessert, sweets and desserts as well. So it's kind of a more choices for the customer, and hence there are more reasons that the customer will walk into the vending machine and buy. So hence for a whole new opportunity has been created, right, for the partners that who would join with hands with us and then go forward and launch these vending machines into more cities, right? So while a traditional vending machine, when will a customer go to a traditional vending machine? Probably only during a tea time, right? In the morning time or in the late evening time when the customer wants to have. But with vending machine, which provides so many choices, right, it creates a more opportunity for the customer and the partner both. The kind of platform, right, because obviously when you are bringing in so many opportunities, right, so then hence there is a reason that we have created an entire platform, right, through which a partner who joins in, right, is able to manage these vending machines sitting at home. So we have partners who manage like 10 to 20 vending machines, not even going once to them, right, just sitting at home and using our app, our dashboard, our remote management tool, everything they can do, right, sitting at home. With this opportunity, we have actually been able to like in a quite short time, like I mentioned that we started in 2007, end of 2017, right, and 2018 was the time we started adding clients really, right? But as of now we have large clients like TCS, Dell, to ENY, to even government sector clients like Niti Aayog, NSDC, right? Those are the kind of seen the value proposition through our vending and then have gone ahead and taken this service from us. So the opportunity itself, right, that this new innovation around the vending has created, right, the entire, whether it is a corporate co-working space or whether it is a government hospital, or it's an educational institute, hospital, maybe even a residential complex, right? So these locations put for a vending machine, even if it is like a 100, 150 hostel beds hospital, right? It's a hotel, right? The opportunity of can then cater to the customers in that geography and create business for the partners who join with us. Just giving a brief about the management team. I myself come from had experience working with companies like Paytm, Payment Bank, and Fino. The other co-founder Vidya is here. He Hello. Okay, let's talk about the market opportunity that the vending machine ecosystem has created. So from institutions like hospitals, colleges, schools and hotels to the public spaces like metros, railway station, the opportunity is quite high. We see that easily you can put up at least 10 lakh vending machines in tier 1, tier 2 cities alone, right? Which is basically through machine based. We have even come up with solutions for cabs and buses, right, through our vending machines. So the opportunity is quite huge, right? Someone who has an existing business, has a outlet, right? He can also augment, like, because the entire proposition is quite small in nature, right? It just needs a 10 square feet kind of an area. You can launch, you already have an existing outlet, you can launch it there. Right? You are having an institute, right, or running maybe a coaching institute or something, you can use this vending machine as an additional value-added service, or a hotel or a hospital, or maybe a like a lab, path lab, right? Any of such partners can join in. And even if like you are maybe a homemaker, right, and you think that in your own residential complex you can put up this vending machine, right? So you are basically, the opportunity here is quite high, because the options where you can put up this kind of a vending machine is huge. And with COVID coming in, right, the benefit, right, that this entire uh, proposition brings in, right, is that because it is already COVID proof, right, because it's contactless, right, it's cashless in nature, right, because there is no person unmanned, right, so it fulfills all the social distancing norms, right, that have been laid by, right, because customer also, right, a lot of customers today feel that they want to, they are changing their buying preferences, right, they are going online, right. So this vending machine basically creates an opportunity whereby it is online because it works with an app and everything, right, but it is also physical in nature, hence it is right there present where the customer is there, and giving an opportunity for the customer to buy anything from the large variety that it has, right, but yet in a contactless manner. With COVID, we also aligned a lot of, like, from the times like pre-COVID times to the post-COVID times, right, we also did a lot of changes in our own technology also, in order to upgrade this to 100% contactless system. Now our customer need not even touch the touchscreen of the vending machine, they can just do everything on the app itself and pick up the item without even touching the vending machine. They just have to touch the product that they are picking from the vending machine. So those are the technology advancement, because the whole DNA of the company is like that. The entire proposition is based on tech platform that has been created, right? So hence we converted or basically upgraded the entire solution also. This entire ecosystem, if you look at, right, like generally where would you see a tuck shop, like a hospital to a hotel to all of these locations, you would see a tuck shop. And even in like nearby wherever you live, right, you would see some kind of a mom and pop store, right, which is there, right. But this whole ecosystem of vending machine, what it creates is, right, that it augments that retail opportunity for a mom and pop store, because now with this kind of an opportunity you can actually open a store 24/7, so hence it is anytime, right. And again, because the kind of options that it would provide, right, so it is more affordable for the customer and instant large variety, because the more the customer wants, the number of varieties you can put up through the vending machine, right. The entire supply chain has been created in a way, right, that it is more quality, like a tuck shop which is generally operates and is manned, right. So from that it is much more advanced and hence quality proof. And the digital experience that we have created around the vending machine by way of an app and a touch screen, right, it overall increases the user experience for the customer. Coming on to the unit economics, right? For any food business, right? Whenever a franchisee thinks of doing a food business, right? They always have a doubt in their mind about the operational expenses. That okay, fine, I can start a food business, but what about the operational expenses? What about the wastages, right? What we say is that with the kind of proposition that we have created, we guarantee the lowest OPEX. And I repeat, right, we guarantee lowest operational expenditure for any kind of food business, just because of the technology that we have created. The kind of proposition, right, that the way it's not only the vending machine, the whole ecosystem around it, whether it is related to the refilling system, whether it is related to the prediction of next day's orders, or whether it is related to intraday management or the price management of the product, everything has been automated in such a way, right, right, that it reduces your operational expenditure. If you look at, right, that any other food business, you would not find this kind of this low, right, operational expenditure. Hence that is the main reason, right, that this entire opportunity becomes better unit economics for the customers, for the franchisee partners. Last year, when we actually started franchisee as an opportunity, we just had 11% of our stores, total stores, as on franchisee. But as we ended December 2020, right, we have now 65% of our as franchisee partners being managing them. So that's the trust, and that's also a lot of, in fact, our franchisee partners started with one and then multiplied it, right? Then there are partners who have as high as 25 vending machines also, right? So this whole ecosystem, right, which is basically initial low investment, low operational cost, and high margin on products through the specialized supply chain that we provide to our franchisee partners, right? This whole creates a very powerful value proposition for our franchisee partners. So this is what it is. This is what we wanted to present to you, right? That the initial investment, if you look at, right, is like for the vending machine is like 1.5 lakhs, and another 25,000 for the 25,000 for the franchisee fee, and then payment gateway charges, which is also very nominal, 1%, and there is a small SaaS fee or a royalty income that we charge, which is between 7% to 4%. We'll talk about more in detail, right, once we have one-on-one conversations with our team, right, that how this details out, how the supply chain also is provided to our partners, right, what kind of support is provided, right. So it's not limited to only the sales and purchase, right, of the vending machine, right. We are trying to create a relationship with our franchisee partner in which we would provide you the entire depth and breadth of the services, right. When I say entire depth of breadth of services means, right, today one is the management, which is like the IoT device and everything. We also provide to the partner, how do you collaborate with brands in order to launch their new products? How do you collaborate with brands in order to make an additional ad revenue from those brands, right? Someday a brand comes in that they want to launch a new flavor. Can you participate? Yes. So that one is just the technology and the SaaS. We also provide a around it, which makes this entire value proposition for the franchisee partner even more powerful. Then comes the kind of tools that we provide, right? That from the mobile app, we have already spoke about the IoT tool, the control. Now, when you are a partner that you are getting onboarded, right? As it would be all your people, right, who would get trained and who would get onboarded. How do we empower you, right? That by sitting at home, you are able to manage 25 your vending machine, right? This entire control over the inventory, and how it is done, how is that you're managing your field staff, their route planning. It's not that we're going to come and teach you. It's everything is built into our app itself, right? Through which very easily you will be onboarded and you will be able to run your own thing. Then comes the processes, these 5C processes, because obviously it is the vending machine. If you want to launch fresh food also through the vending machine, and hence there is always a doubt in the mind of the franchisee that how would I do it, right? So we would onboard the partners, we would onboard the vendors for you, right? And we would create the entire supply chain process for you through be able to launch any kind of product through the vending machine, whether it is fruits, cut fruits or cut fruits, or whether it is desserts, or whether it is meal boxes or ready to eat food, right? All of these would be easily be available to you. The tools and the processes would be available to you through which you will be able to launch these. So that's from our side, right? We like working quite heavy on this, right? And we have been recognized by a lot of other partners, right? Whether it is Niti Aayog launch to whether it is to Times of India acknowledging our efforts towards it. And even if you visit our website or you see our apps, etc., you would find the customers have also shared very encouraging and for us so far innovate product and improving us.
Thank you so much, Prerna, for coming in today and for this very wonderful
Difficult to
presentation.
create a 24/7 kind of a structure.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prerna, once again. And I'd like to thank you for this presentation, for the interest of all the audience which has come in today. And friends, just to add, I'll also say that Dalchini is a food tech startup and they aggregate all the healthy food, home cooked food is what they specialize through their vending machines and which is IoT enabled. And they have integrated both physical as well as a digital platform through their app and also installation of these kiosks at various strategic points. And over these last 3 years, they've also consistently expanded and worked upon their product portfolio to cater to a large audience and a diversified customer base because they've been operating in 300 odd locations across the country in various states. And also they have the credibility of companies, or maybe I would say venture funding, which they initially got from Artha, and also angel investors like Ajay Kaul, who was the former CEO of Jubilant Foods, who's also invested in the company. And if I have to talk about a little bit on the industry, I would also say today vending is being redefined and this industry continues to be transformed because of a lot of technological advancement which have been done and innovative companies like Dalchini which have come and introduced the concept of, I would say, healthy vending machines, which internationally is something which is very well accepted. And strategic locations like hospitals, even airports, and even I would say corporates are some of the locations where this concept does very, very well. So, Prerna, what I will do is I'll take some questions from the audience, but maybe to start off with, what I wanted to understand first of all is perhaps, on business model, so to say. So, this is a kiosk, which is, which is an investment which starts as small as 1.5 lakhs. And if I can request, while we did see through and flip through very quickly from that sheet that you presented on the operating expenses, also, if you can describe a little bit on that, typically what are the operating expenses? Because there were some figures which talked about sales commissions and some other rental, part, and there's also royalty component. So if you can describe what all that components are and the sheet.
Yeah.
The sheet. So I saw some components, which is cost of goods sold is typically the food cost, which is comparatively low. On an average, any food cost for a company is anything between 35 to 40%. Most of the companies have. And if you can explain a little bit on the income side, we have two components, which is sales commission and listing ad rental. How is that calculated for a franchisee?
Sure. So sales commission is like whatever margins, right? And that you make on the food product. Generally, a food item which is say at you selling at 100 rupees, so you would get anywhere between 65 to 75, 78 rupees, right? That's generally the cost of the goods, right? Now that's the difference is the sales commission. Coming on to the listing ad and rental income, this vending machine industry is very interesting business, right? Because in vending machine, right, the rentals are actually earned, right, in a lot of corporates as a locations or corporates or co-working spaces. If you go and launch your vending machine, they would gonna pay you a rental income, right, rental for the services that you provide. Obviously this is different when you go in a hospital or some other kind of a public kind of a space where you pay rentals, but then also because it's a 10 square feet kind of an area, the rentals are quite less. Now coming on to the listing and ad revenue, the interesting proposition here is that we partner with a lot of brands, FMCG brands, ready to eat product brands, cloud kitchens, right, who launch their products through our ecosystem, or they put up their products, they supply their products, they reach out to the new customers through our digitally enabled supply chain, and hence the franchisee partner has the opportunity to make income out of that, right? We pass on that income to our franchisee partner as well. Yeah. Coming on to the expenses side, now expenses, because the entire proposition of the vending machine is such that like if you have say machine 1 to 5 kilometer kind of an radius, right? So those can be managed by one single person. So per se, refilling and the warehousing cost are not much, which is listed here in the expenses about 2,500, right, for the franchisee partner. Similarly, wastages, because the entire and this wastage is also like 3,000 that we have mentioned, is like we have mentioned on the higher side only. But generally, if you are more into ready to eat packaged foods, then this wastages further get reduced. So all in all, what we are saying is that sales of 42,000, 11,000. So your commission on the food item was 11,000. You make additional income from rental or from listing ad revenues for about 5,000. Your expenses are 8,000, which comprises of your refilling and warehouse contribution for the vending machine, the wastages, the payment gateway charges, and it is what the franchising makes it.
We seem to have lost you, Prerna. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Vidya, maybe you can take up if I'm not audible.
Balram, can you present it?
You want me to present the
Yeah,
sheet
if we
again?
can.
Okay.
We lost that.
We can hear you now.
Yes.
So yeah, I can hear you now. I was not able to previously.
So we're kind of losing you in between. I don't know if anyone can. There's one question which I wanted to also, ask because most of these locations could also be on a revenue shared basis, and certain locations would also be on a rental. So how do we actually, include that as a part of your operating expenses? Typically, what are the revenue share structures we have with the corporate one, and typical, just to install maybe
Yeah. So
10 square feet? Yeah.
are basically
I will take
if
this.
doing it in a hospital kind of a setup. Hello.
Yes, Prerna, we're losing you in between, maybe because of poor network.
Yes, yes.
Maybe we can take up this.
Sure. So Vidya Balram, would you want to take this question? So one on the rental, how does it work for a partner?
Yes, so in that case, so what generally happens is, so if you can see from the slide, so there is, different sales figures. So when we talk about locations where there is a kind of, there is no rental income or maybe a revenue sharing thing, which you were asking. So in
Sure.
that, what generally happens is there is sales, higher side generally. So that means the rental income which you are losing otherwise, you are making it in the higher sales part. So in that way, if you see overall, when we talk about the numbers, the profitability part, so that would be in the same range only, which Prerna was showing on the slide, depending on the sales part. So that would be accommodative in the overall numbers itself.
Okay. So what we're projecting is the potential of maybe one kiosk is about 48,000 per month, where a franchisee has a potential to earn net income from the food sales and also on the rent, right? And typically, how long will it take for him to recover the investment?
Yeah, so it would be so like break even is around 10 to 12 months only. So within 1 year, so partner can get the returns.
Okay. And what happens, because most of these locations are corporate location, institutional locations. So, do you also help or assist a franchisee in getting an access to these locations, or would you want him to maybe get hold of these locations and come to you? How does this ecosystem work? And second question, I will also start taking from the audience. I've taken a note of a lot of questions which have started to come in, and I'm seeing, a lot of responses also started going in. But if we can start with this, and friends, I will also request if you have any questions pertaining to the business model. And I also feel, while we've only talked about a unit opportunity, a multi-unit opportunity can also make a lot of sense, where you can place these kiosks at strategic locations. So, with a small investment of 1.5 odd lakhs, if somebody is keen and you have access to these locations, or you wish to open even multi-unit, that can be very interesting, which can start as small as maybe, a unit of 5, and can go to even 10 or 15 odd locations, depending on, what you can hold and invest. So back to you, Balram. So, how do we work on site selection or location selection, and would there be some assistance which is offered by the company?
Yes. So talking about the location part, yes. So if you see, so definitely Dalchini provide a lot of help. So if there is any partner who already have the location, then it's good. If partner still wants a kind of assistance on the location part, definitely we are going to help that. And as because see, we already have a lot of tie-ups with the corporates pan-India locations. So chances are there, if we have a corporate in particular city and we want to launch in the same corporate in another city, so that location we can refer to our partner as well. So that will be both way.
All right. And my, other question was on the type of partnership. While we talked about a unit franchisee, and there's not a huge investment which goes in, and second, there's not of does not take too much of man hours for somebody to be deployed all the time in manning this kiosk. Would you also want to encourage, promote, or solicit inquiries from prospective partners who would want to look at either a multi-unit, which could be 4 or 5? He can create a cluster and say these are 6 places where he strategically would want to place these kiosks. And second opportunity could be a master franchisee, and maybe at locations where you don't have, these are underserved markets, and you see there's a potential, or markets where you wish to enter. Do you see a possibility of these two? One. And second, I will also like to pick, if yes, which are the important locations where maybe a master franchisee you think can be made available?
Yeah. So we will share, like we have already shared, a list of cities, right, that where we see that master franchisee opportunity is there. Specifically, if you go beyond tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities, there is a huge opportunity, because the number of educational institutes, colleges, hostels, hospitals, etc., which are there in those cities, right? The education hubs, for example, Kota or Jaipur or maybe Indore or Bhopal, right? These are the cities, right, where we see that master franchisee opportunity can be looked at, right? Because those are the cities that we are not yet present, and we feel that there's huge opportunity. Even in cities that we are present in, right, that we feel that it is beneficial even for the partner. Maybe he wants to start small, right, and with one, but we really encourage a partner who wants to go for 2 to 5 vending machines, because when you go for 5 vending machines, your actual operational costs are much lesser, because maybe with one, just one person, you're able to manage the entire operations, right, and your sales volumes so basically has gone 5 times.
Absolutely. And it brings a lot of economies of scale, both I would say in supervision and also marketing, because you create a cluster, you can market in that cluster. The question, Prerna, which I want to even ask is, because you have 2 formats, and rather, there are 2 sources. You have a physical kiosk which is placed, and at the same time, you also have orders which are coming on the app. Now, between these two, what kind of revenue mix do you currently see? How many people would be first time? Because most of the people coming and buying at the kiosk, these could be either a audience which is inside that premise, say an educational institute, or maybe a corporate, and the other are people who are working at various offices, and they would order by app. So what have you seen, based on your experience of running these 300 kiosks, what mix have you seen for online orders, and the one that would
So in fact, as a company, we made constant efforts, right, in order to onboard our customers towards the app. The first 45 days of launching a new locations are really critical for us, and we have a standard SOP, right, which have been laid down, which is for launching a new location, right, which starts from the kind of offers that goes on week 1, week 2, and week 3. So there are 3 consecutive week offers, right, in which we start onboarding the customer. Then basically only once the acquisition is done, then the retention offer starts going on, right? The entire objective and perspective of these offers are basically so that the more and more customers get onboarded onto the app, right? Today, our 100% of our orders are digital in nature. So the customer either basically scans the QR code on the vending machine and then makes payment, or basically downloads the app from the Play Store or App Store and makes the order, right? So that's the kind of proposition that we already are running. So when we onboard a franchisee partner, also those SOPs, so there is a detailed SOP that gets passed on to, right? We provide the detailed support also, right, through our app, right, through which the partner can also launch offer or can see the currently running offers which are sponsored by the company itself, right, for launch of new locations.
Okay. All right. Now, other important question is on the supply chain, because you have a varied, customer base, a lot of locations that you currently are operating out of. So how does this vendor selection and supply chain work? How are we doing that? And especially for a new location where you might not have a presence. So how does it work? We find a new vendor in that location. And if yes, typically, how long does it take for us to do that? And equally, I would also ask you to maybe, illustrate on the replenishment. How does that happen at the outlet and on the order? Because we talked about physical and digital orders. So one could be through kiosk, which is unmanned and can be procured. How are your orders online delivered? Is it through a centralized base or a kitchen, or does the respective franchisee from whose code or whose territory maybe the order has come, he takes the responsibility of delivering? So one is on the supply chain, second on the replenishment and selection of vendors, and lastly on the territory and how does it work for a franchisee who's operating out of a certain pin code or geography.
Vidya, maybe we would like to take all.
Yeah, so from the supply side, we have 3-4 types of tie-ups with all the relevant brands. So in a vending machine, we have like 100 varieties altogether that we can keep. And we have segmented them into 4-5 categories like snacks, beverages, desserts, and fresh food. And these categories are further categorized into national, local brands. So for example, in Chandigarh, you will find Varka. In all over India, you will find Coke and all. So we have tie-ups with some brands at national level, and we have tie-ups with a lot of brands at local level. So whenever we launch any new city, majority of our products that can be kept in the machine, we have suppliers ready, or either we have contacts of the ASM of that particular area, or we have contacts in NSM. So managing the supply for a particular city would not take more than a week time. So that is something that we have been doing for last 1 year, and now we are present in over 9 cities now. Coming to refill planning and last mile delivery, so which is another part that once I have the supply, how I'm going to fulfill those machines. This is again a completely calibrated process that we have defined. So when I'm going to launch a city, there are like 180 processes that we have to follow. And those processes are sequential or maybe can be parallel in nature, and it will take say 45 days to launch. So it's not that haphazard way we are going to launch. It will be in a systematic way, and most importantly, all of them are automated. So in case you are trying to bypass one, or you're not trying to follow a certain quality norms or SOP that we have already subscribed to, then perhaps you will not be able to move to the next step. So we have complete SOP for launching, right from suppliers and refill, maybe last mile delivery that we are discussing right now. These are the small portion of the entire SOP that we share with our partners. Coming specific to this last mile, as Prerna mentioned earlier, that one delivery boy can manage 5 machines in case they are in the range of say 10 kilometer radius and so on. And that particular delivery boy is equipped with partner app. There he has each and every detail, that in the morning when he gets up, where he has to go, how he is going to pick up the products, and what are the quality checks that he has to do, and then he will pick up the items, come to warehouse, do leveling, etc., and then again go back and refill the machines. So these processes are completely, I would say, guided by our tech-enabled supply chain that we share with our partners. In case you have any more specific questions, obviously we will.
Again, on the fulfillment only. So fulfillment for any online orders is done by the partner, right? That comes as a responsibility with the partner?
So we are not online ordering. So what we say that even if you order from the consumer app,
Yeah.
that particular product will be booked in the machine. So we have like machines placed, right? So in case I want to order, say, Rajma Chawal, sitting from my workstation, I can book Rajma Chawal, which is already kept in the machine. So after booking the order, I will go to that machine and I will just enter 4-digit code and I will get it. So there is no home delivery kind of stuff that something is not delivered to the home or maybe the doorstep. There is no doorstep delivery. Customer can order those products which are already present in the machine remotely from the app.
All right. And I'm also seeing another, question which I want to take, so when we talk about the investment, this investment is only on the machine, this 1.5 lakh investment is, the entire investment is on the machine. Typically, what kind of working capital would you expect a franchisee to retain? Because a lot of refilling would happen on a real-time basis. So what kind of working capital do you advise for a franchisee to retain with him?
It depends on the sale that we are getting on those. On bottom line, it's like 10,000 rupees per machine that we block, both that we keep in the machine as well as in the warehouse. However, in case sale from that particular machine is quite high and rotation of that inventory is high, then generally we reduce it to 7. And that Prerna has already mentioned in that we have one order for tomorrow module that gives very accurate planning or demand forecasting that how much sale is going to happen in this week, and accordingly you can plan your supply. So we do not block a lot of capital for fulfillment, because we exactly know on day basis that what is the demand which is going to come, and we can decrease the number of days of inventory that we are keeping in our warehouse or in the machine. In case sale is high, then we can rotate it, but at any case it would not be more than 10,000.
Okay, helpful. Another, important question is on, one I would like to understand, if there's a specific profile of people you're looking at, maybe they're resourceful, they have connects or, some kind of relationship with corporates or institutions. And second is the role a franchisee would play, which is as far as the day-to-day operations are concerned, if that can also be defined.
Yeah, we'll share. In fact, as part of our deck, right? So one of the slides we have kept uh, for the responsibility matrix, right? For the franchisee partners that would be onboarded. In terms of profile, somebody who comes with a food background or maybe a distributor. So there are two kinds of partners, right, that we are looking at, right? One is those kind of partners who come with a food background, has a cloud kitchen, maybe is running any other food business, is a FMCG distributor, right? So those are very good mix. Second is could be the partners who are more on the ground, right, has more connects, right? So can basically onboard more corporate locations or maybe hospitals, hostels, colleges, etc. So those are the another kind of partners, right, that we are looking at who can get more locations for us, right? So generally these two partners are preferable, right, when we are launching a new city. But otherwise, like the proposition itself, like if you want to just launch 1 or 2, 3, 4 vending machines, right, anybody who has a spare money and wants to do a part-time additional business, right, this opportunity is so easy to do, right, because it doesn't doesn't require your attention 24/7, unlike any other F&B business, right, whereby you require to be there. Like if you launch any other QSR or like a franchisee or maybe of any other food brand, right, then you require to be present. Like it's personal resource intensive, right? This kind of an F&B business is actually very less on when you talk about resources required.
True. And how does it work? Because most of your audience is typically people office goers or people working at office. So is there also a subscriber model? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are ordering on a daily basis, or they have subscribed. So how much would be the subscriber orders, and how much are you seeing the new additions coming, and how exactly it is? It is only subscribers who would come and they would order on every day basis, or we have every day a new set of customers also coming in, and between these two, what kind of split do you see?
So there are two kinds of locations. One is basically locations with captive audience, like a college, right, whereby only students of that college, right, would be there, right, or maybe a corporate office, right, whereby only those people do, right. But there in these locations, what you would see is that the repeat is very high, right. Repeat orders are very high in those locations, as high as maybe like 4 to 12 orders, right, in a month, kind of a repeat, right, that we would see in a corporate or a college kind of a setup. Now this kind of setup, while your number of users might be less, right, because you're catering to a captive audience only, but because of repeat, you are sorted because of the repeat thing, right. The second kind of audience could be maybe a hospital or maybe a residential complex also, right, whereby there's footfall, or maybe when it is in a residential society, right, where there is a high footfall, right, but new people are coming in, walking in, right. In those kind of locations, you would see a lot of impulse purchases happening from the vending machine, a lot of impulse purchases, hence a lot of customers, just walk-in customers, maybe a smaller ticket or maybe a smaller order value, but the volume or the number of transactions would be much higher, because because this proposition is 24/7. So if you are there in, say, a hospital, right, where it's a 24/7, most hospitals are, right. So generally this proposition caters to the customers when there's nothing else also is available, right. Hence becomes very, I would say, for the customer side, it becomes very useful.
Right. Now, I'll pick some locations while we understand, the entire geography for you is open. You're already operating in a lot of cities, but would you want to give maybe priority locations in cities where you want to enter? And at the same time, I will also pick some cities which I'm seeing coming from a lot of our audience. For example, Bhubaneswar is a location which I'm seeing. I'm seeing somebody from Jaipur asking for the opportunity. And there are also some other locations which are tier two locations which I'm seeing which are coming in, including Delhi, because you're already operating a lot of kiosk out of Delhi and Chandigarh also in north. So I'm seeing interest coming from tier two like Ujjain, Indore, Jaipur, and some other locations. So would you want to maybe give a hint of what kind of priority locations are you looking at?
So we are already present in Noida, Gurgaon, Delhi, Chandigarh, Mumbai, Pune, and Bangalore, right? We would like to have partners coming in for these cities as well. We have priorities for Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Kota, Indore, Bhopal, Surat, Vadodara, Agra, and Meerut, because these are the locations that we have selected as the phase one launch of tier two cities, right? Because there's huge opportunity in terms of the kind of audience that these, like whether it is, some of them are educational hubs, right? Some of them will have a lot of KPOs and BPOs situated there. So we see that there is huge opportunity in these areas, and hence would like to go ahead for these first.
Okay, right. Good. And Pranab, is there some radius that you give to a franchisee, because this is a very captive audience, and I would say the opportunity is huge. But do you give some kind of a territory to a franchisee to operate within?
Yeah, so basically when we discuss, like, if there is a partner who wants to like do a larger area, right, maybe wants to do 25 or more vending machines, right, so then we will give them a territorial, which is basically if they go for a master franchisee, then we will accordingly provide that to them.
All right. And maybe I'll just mention the name of the cities. When you just put the list of cities, and this is for all the audience, these are I think close to about 12 focus cities, which is priority for Dalchini to enter, which is in Delhi NCR, obviously Noida, Gurgaon, Delhi, Chandigarh, Bombay, Pune, Bangalore. I see Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Kota, a big educational hub, Indore, Bhopal, Surat, Vadodara, Agra, and Meerut. So these are some of the important priority cities where we can solicit interest. And I would say both for a unit and as well for a multi-unit franchisee. But I feel a multi-unit franchisee would make more sense for any individual. So even starting from a 5, the investment would not go beyond, say, 6 odd lakhs to put these 5 locations up and running. And also you get a lot of economies of scale, both of manpower and getting locations which can be upcoming, and also locations which already developed. So it gives you a good bridge between upcoming and established locations. So I would request Prerna, since we're receiving interest from a lot of prospective investors, do you advise that we can fix up a date sometime in the coming week? We would need maybe a 6-day kind of a filter time at our end to reach out to all the prospects who have inquired, and we'll bring them to you maybe in the coming week. Any date or dates that you think looks viable for you to and your team to come and maybe speak to these investors?
So maybe we can, so if next week we are talking, we can do same time next week, Tuesday, same time we can do, right? And we can, like if there's some already
So
selected
we are-
prospects, right? So we can discuss with them.
Sure. So we are on 3rd today. And
Otherwise, team is available. Team, both Balram and Praveen are closely connected with your team, right? And anytime if you find, like, we would like to engage with those partners, active partners, and take the discussion forward with them.
Sure. Helpful, Prerna. And so maybe we can even announce for the interest of everyone, while we can also bring in inquiries before, but we'll keep a dedicated day so that we can block time with your teams. So we can keep 9th of 9th of February, which is a Tuesday, about 6 days from today, for all the investors to come in for a call. And we'll filter, and I will request friends, all of you who have tried to reach out or interested, do put in your inquiries on the hotline number. We placed our hotline number in the chat box. You can all take a note of that number. At the same time, our teams will also reach out to all the people who have come in today's webinar with your interest. Do mention the city location. In case you're looking at multiple locations, do mention your interest. And if you come from complementing industries or complementing backgrounds that can facilitate and or can add value to this association, do mention that. Would be helpful for us to filter and bring the right candidature to the team of Dalchini. And before we leave, Prerna, I'll request maybe a last word from you to the entire audience who's listening to you both live on Facebook and on the webinar.
Okay. So this F&B, food and beverage business, is the largest consumption, right, that we do in India, right? And it is ever growing business. It's something that it is ever growing. The only drawback of any F&B business is wastages, right? Which is basically the operational expenditure, which we guarantee that we're gonna give you the lowest operational expenditure by way of our technology enabled supply chain. So that's what we guarantee to you, right? So with that as a thing, right, that the technology really can do great to this food business, like food plus tech, right? This whole matchmaking actually brings about a really good opportunity for all of us to just barge into it and then make big out of it, right? We want to be India's largest community for automated kiosk, and we all want you guys to come along with us and be part of this journey with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prerna. And I would also say your solution is a no-brainer for, I would say, people who are going to offices. They need food from a clean environment, affordable, which can be consumed every day, and smart eating on the go, which is something which is in high demand these days. So with this, we wish you all the best, and we look forward to reaching out to all the prospects who have come in today, and we'll bring them to you and your teams in the coming week. Thank you so much for coming in once again. Over to you, Archana.
So thank you so much, the entire team of Dalchini, for joining us today and sharing your business model with us. We'll definitely come back to you. We would like to thank Sonia ma'am for sharing her thoughts and views on the industry. Last but not the least, our dear participants who have spared time and joined us today for this opportunity, please book your slot to have one-to-one interaction with the team of Dalchini at the business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. We love to receive all suggestion and feedback at the same number, because that will help the entire team of Franchise India to improve our processes. Do connect with us at a different social handles, information on your screen. You want to see the previously done webinars, this particular webinar, please visit us, join us at the Facebook page of Franchise India Brands Limited. Do write and join management team of Franchise India at their respective LinkedIn IDs. That's the information on your screen. And tomorrow, under 234th edition of Business Opportunity with Chai webinar series, we invite you to join us for #pizza. That's the opportunity we got for you. Do registration today at the same business hotline number so that you can join us sharp 12 p.m. Once you do a registration, you'll receive a mail and confirmation mail from our side. Thank you once again for joining in today. Have a great day ahead. Stay safe, stay happy, eat healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prerna. Thank you, Balram, and thank you, Vidya, for coming in today. Have a great day ahead. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.